So the Blackburn Rovers transfer window has slammed shut, but what about the players that we were brought in already? How good are they, or are they a bit too much work? We're going to take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. We're going to recap the transfer window, that's right. Who was good, who's bad, who's a little bit problematic. We'll take a look at all of it in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want to shop for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football. Whoa, football, we're going to here. Under Waruski, that's right. The Viking clap was heard on Sunday. But what about the rest? Who was good, who's bad? Well, we'll have a little chat with the lads to see what they think. We'll get to that in a minute. Again, big shout out to the members of the patrons. I also want to chuck in Eddie here to talk about away day travel, an affordable way for you to get you to the game. So then, Eddie, so now let's bring on the boys.
Thanks, Dirk. Ewan Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Rovers Seas hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk, in the studio.
That, lads, and of course, if you want to see those guys in action, make sure you check out Eddie's message at the start of the video at the transfers that we made, because it is transfer deadline day-ish. When this goes out, it will be transfer deadline day. Wrapping it up the season. We've been very busy, a lot of ins, a lot of outs. I don't want to go too heavy on this because we've done it already before, but, you know, just kind of, we'll go alternate. It's the luck of the draw. Denver, what have you liked or what have you not liked so far from Dion de Neve, the Belgian?
So what I've liked, he's put the ball in the back of the net twice. What I've not liked is pretty much everything else. I don't want to be like too bad down on him, but he just doesn't look like he's gonna get in this anywhere near the squad. You know, physicality. So I remember. I don't know. I was saying it was the John T. I was saying to someone anyway. Like you need to have at least one strong attribute in the championship anyway to put your claim to fame. You know, your card plays really really fast. I'm looking at Denevin, right? So he's not physically strong. He's not fast. He's not a wizard with his feet. What is it? Yeah, she put the ball in the back of the net twice, but they've been put on a plate. You know, I know that's a trigger word for most people. He was in front of goal and it was a tap in, and they could be easily missed. So I'm not saying underrate that, but he's not created a chance for himself. He's not really. He's just and I can just see him being a bench warmer. And if
Joe Rankin Costello 2.0. Maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. And so that's what I'm seeing at the minute. Hopefully he goes and proves me wrong, but that's all I'm seeing at the minute.
And again, feel free, Johnny, if you want to add extras to that, or we can move on to the next guy if you want.
I think he's positive. He scored 2 goals, sort of thing. So he might just need a bit of time to get up to speed, out the Belgium league into this. So I will cut the guy a bit of slack. There's one that I'm not going to cut any slack if we get onto him, but no, there's the fact that he's scored 2 more goals this season than Max Hargay is positive, right? So at least he knows where the net is.
All right. Cool. Moving on.
Just to add one thing in. So whilst we all walked off the Bradford City game pretty disappointed, we lost 2-1, but and then Bradford City just last week went to Stoke City and beat them 3-0 at their place. So I know Stoke had a predominantly large change team, as did we, but you look at that and suddenly it doesn't feel as bad. Bradford City were a decent setup, So
yeah, I agree, and they're on fire. It's not just in the cup; they are on fire in League One.
The league, right? Yeah, absolutely.
They're on fire 4 games in. We'll see at the end of the season.
Hey, they should be much higher in the league pyramid in my eyes, Bradford City.
Yeah.
Next one, Tavarez, John T. Is this the guy that you want to cut slack or no cut slack?
Yeah, against Hull, he was absolutely brilliant. He complimented the whole team. He was moving around with confidence and things like that. And this is why, I don't really subscribe to anybody that says that, it takes a bit of time for us to gel, because on last week against Hull, we absolutely gelled. He reminded me last week, and this is going to be a big statement, of a bit of, not only in presence and looks and things like that, but the way he played the ball and moved around, a bit of Steven Nzonzi-esque.
Yeah.
And so instantly, I loved him. I'm a big fan of Steven Nzonzi. And I saw that last week for the first time, and I just thought, yeah, we've got a hell of a player. And both me and Dem were waxing lyrical about him at half time. Whilst all the plaudits obviously went to Cantwell, we're looking at Tavarez and we're thinking, wow, we've got a hell of a player here. No concern last week at Hull City was basically, bloody hell, we'll probably only have him till January, then he'll bugger off for a big fee somewhere. But judging on yesterday, polar opposite, the song about Richie Smallwood never gives the ball away. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Tavares, he always gives the ball away. So, I'm going to cut him some slack. I've been pretty impressed with him. He's had big boots to fill in that centre. He's complimented Tronstad as well. He looks like he's, slightly further up the field than, two defensive midfielders. He's athletic. He's all over the pitch. So, no, I like him. I want to see more of him. Just not like yesterday.
I agree. Pretty much what Jonty just said. I think he'll be one of those assets that we will sell on for a bigger fee if we don't go up. He is so for our more modern view. I mean, Nzondi wasn't that long ago, but for the ones that maybe the younger generations, I'd say he reminds me of a Paul Pogba-esque kind of similar role. You Paul Pogba, tall, stocky, gets around the pitch, puts a good ball in here and there. But honestly, though, I do think we've got a good player here. Give him time, get him used to the league, so he knows when and when not to pass, when to do certain things, and I think we've got a hell of a player here. So,
okay, next up, Ryan Ablosu or Ablasu. I'm working on it. Working on my pronunciation.
I just call him Ryan.
Yeah. I call him Ryan.
Ryan. So what do we think? What do we think about him? He's got big boots to fill as well, but been pleasantly surprised with him.
I think he's done okay. He's come in. He's got, of course, we've just had Callum Britton. He's been, of course, he was never Callum Britton was never the best right back, but he's gradually grown into the side. And last season he was really, really good. Again, we've signed someone not full potential. He was in the Arsenal Academy. He's come in. I'd say the only thing that lets him down again is decision making and his touch. Every now and then, similar to Cog, but I think having them two on that side of the channel kills us almost. But I like his desire to get forward, get into the box, create problems. They're things that some players who have really good touch and decision making don't do those things, and it hurts because you're not penetrating their areas, the danger areas, causing them problems. But he does that, so that's one good thing. But like I said, decision maker, sometimes he'll go and attack at the wrong time when it wasn't there, and he'll lose the ball, he'll give up possession, or in his touch lets him down. So maybe he wants to go forward, but he'll put the ball so far ahead that it's quite an easy fix. He just needs to tidy up on those areas of his game, and then I think then we've got another valuable asset, or hopefully a really good right back to stay with us for a while.
Next up, Sean McLoughlin, centre back, red card, red mist.
Yeah, he up until yesterday, he's. I don't think he's going to win many man of the matches, but he's just going to be a solid defender for us. He's a presence, isn't he? So, he's seems a decent player. Just schoolboy error. From an experienced player, you don't expect that. Maybe just a little bit of passion gets in his way. But he's out now for the next 3 games, so that might be a good thing. Bringing Scotty Wharton back. So yeah, I'm all right with him. He's no Danny Barr. I think I prefer Danny Barr and Hyam together so far. But
Danny Barr?
Say again.
Who's Danny Bart? I don't know who Danny Bart is.
Yeah, him. Yeah, um, yeah. He's. I did like a Hyman Bar sort of partnership, but yeah, Sean McLoughlin. Some Hull City fans were saying kind of broadly similar to what I'm saying. He's a reliable guy. He'll make a few mistakes and things like that, but on the whole, you prefer to have him rather than play against him.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have the Aussie. I haven't seen much of him. Got a long throw on him. We've seen it in action, and we've seen it benefit us. Was that the Bradford City goal with the long throw?
Yeah, it was.
So, he's got a weapon. We've not seen those long throws for a while.
Tommy Spur would have been, I think, last time.
Say again?
Tommy Spur doing the last time. We see
long throws. Long time. But, again, not the finished article by a long ways.
No, but I like him. I think he'll be, I can see him at some point in his career maybe moving in at a centre-back, But I think he there's a lot of things that he doesn't do really well. But what I've seen, when I've seen him, I don't know, I just thought, I don't know what kind of play. When we signed Sean McLoughlin, and we signed fringe players from other clubs. I don't know much about Miller. We signed Adam Forshaw. I'm going, what are we like? What are we trying to do here? And then when I seen him against West Brom, I thought, you know what? He gets stuck in. He gets his head in. The long throwing's always an option if needs be. And he didn't look too out of place. He just did everything right. He made a few decent runs, but I don't know if that's because people are yet to find out his strengths and weaknesses and didn't know what to expect, or is he that good? But I think we've got a solid player there. I think he'll be more a bench and will come on for the long throw-ins or maybe make an impact. But no, I'm quietly happy with this signing.
Yeah, I guess he's got to take when he gets an opportunity, he's got to kind of make sure he can take it, because I think Ryan has that right back slot right now for his to lose at the moment, and he is a bit of a unit. He seems to be a big old fella. Next up, I can get mixed up. This one is Axel. Mm-hmm. Axel Henriksen. Jonty. We did sign him. We just haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, and that's probably a good thing that we've not seen much of him, because I did say there's one guy I'm not going to give any slack to, and unfortunately this is. But before I move on, Dirk, it sounds like your microphone's changed to a very tinny. It sounds like you're about 3.5 miles away from the actual mouthpiece. But anyway, Axel, no, again, I'm going to cut the guy a bit of slack, but he was a headless chicken against Bradford City. He was really, really poor. It's a long time since I've seen a player that almost looks like they're a fan that's got on the pitch and put a kit on, and they absolutely categorically shouldn't be there. So, but listen, I think it was his debut. He's not impressed me at all. If you can't do that against a decent League One side, as it now turns out to be, which is Bradford City, then there's worrying signs. But who am I to make a judgment so early on? After seeing a guy, so we just need to see more of him. But all I can say is, God, I hope he improves.
I'd say he's similar to when Cantwell signed. I know when Cantwell signed him, but I think the difference with Cantwell, because he's a name and we knew what he could produce, right? So, but it took him a while to get going. How many games did it take Cantwell? I know he had his injuries and whatnot, but he's coming in, he's in and out the squad. He never really got a foothold until the second half of the season, and even then. So I feel like this is a very similar situation where he's come in, he's thrown in. We signed him 17, 18 hours before then he goes and plays against Bradford because of Cantwell injury. And then, he didn't look great. And every game that he's come on, there are things in there which, aren't terrible. Like he got into some good areas, but then again, his decision making let him down. I remember one time he was open to shoot and he goes to square it. But then saying that, a lot of teams do that. Arsenal did it today. I think it was Odegaard or someone tried to put it. It's like, just shoot, mate. Just shoot. But look, another one, I think, give him time. We'll wait and see. He's not looked great so far, but a lot of players don't. Bradley Dack didn't when he signed and stuff like that. So we'll give him time and see what happens. But not a great start.
Not a great start. But this guy had a cameo yesterday. Morishita.
Yeah, and I won't be able to say much about this one, so I'll leave this one for John T because I haven't seen it at all. How was he? How was he, guys? Let me know.
Yeah, he didn't do much. He didn't have the kind of impact. He did quite a bit of running. I don't remember anything where I thought, wow, we've got a hell of a player here. But there again, if the rest of the team aren't firing on all cylinders or even one cylinder, then yeah, he's straight into the lion's den, isn't he? But yeah, he looks lively. He looks like he'll chase stuff down. So I'd like to see him start. I don't know if it's for Cargbo because he's had one poor game. He's got a lot of work to do as Cargbo, but give this guy a chance. Starting maybe against Watford, away from the pressure of Ewood Park and what have you. But yeah, we didn't. I didn't see enough of him to to really have an opinion of him. But just fingers crossed he turns out to be our little diamond in a pack sort of thing that can link up with all the other players. And if his personality is as bubbling is as his football, then I'm bloody excited to see the guy.
Well, if you think that was hard, Denver, you got this guy, Musa Baraji, the injured player. We'll call him the injured. Sick note, we'll call him.
All the hype. Yeah, we can't say anything on this, can we? Really, but my question is: Does he get straight? Does he come straight into the side? Is he the first choice in there, or will it be a bench warmer to then come on for Tavarez for
the future is, if all goes well, Baraji and Tavarez, I think, in midfield. I think he's a more box to box kind of guy, and I don't want to. I'm not going to put him in the same vein, but I'm going to mention his name. Adam Wharton-esque, kind of the pass before the pass sort of thing. And then Tavares supposed to be doing even more defensiveness about him. But people are excited about the potential. It's just, when will we see that potential?
I think it's in a few weeks, and he'll be back. Apparently,
yeah.
But who knows? This international break might have come at the right time for him.
Definitely. I think he did play for one game for the Swiss team.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, and then that was him. And then right off the bat, we got this guy, the Icelander, another striker. Are you happy we got another striker, John T, to add to the firepower up top, but also at the expense potentially of our academy graduate Harry Leonard?
Yeah, happy that we've got another striker. I just, puts a fear of God up me because of his nationality. Because unfortunately, our last Icelandic player for me was really, really just the biggest letdown I can remember at Blackburn Rovers for a while. He came with this big reputation, and people were excited about him. And Mr. Sigurdsson just didn't live up to any standards. That we all wanted and hoped. So I've seen a couple. I think one of the Rovers fans posted it on the Blackburn Rovers Facebook page, and it was titled "His Skills, His Tricks, and His Goals," and I didn't see anything that really stood out. He's there was a lot of grounds that he was playing in that looked a little bit like Clitheroe FC or something like that. So in front of small crowds, but God, I hope we've got a little rough diamond there that just takes to the championship. That just all these big burly defenders, he has them in his back pocket and just walks around them and just loves shooting and scoring goals. But we can live in hope. But yeah, good luck to the guy. Hope he makes it as a striker. Would I start with him on the first game at Watford? Yeah, probably. Let's chuck him in at the deep end, see what happens.
Well, the only negative, huh?
Oh, sorry.
No,
I was going to say, I am quietly optimistic again with him, just because I know there's heavily linked with Preston, wasn't there, for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and then they couldn't muster up the funds, or there was the potential loan to buy, and it never worked, and we come in with a full offer, and he's come to us. So it's always nice to take some off your rivals, direct rivals, especially around the corner from us. But the best thing about this whole thing was I was reading some article, and then in the comments a Blackburn fan goes, "That's it then." And what you call it? Miktar Gay's off to Derby then. And it was like,
Oh, I'll drive him myself. Fingers crossed. I will drive him. Oh, right on cue.
To see if you can get some affordable away day travel with us at Blackburn Rovers season. Eddie is back here to talk about things like Blackburn Rovers memories.
Hey, with Eddie back once again, but this time I don't want your money. No, I want your name, your voice, your Rovers memories. That's right. We started a social media project over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, showcasing 150 Blackburn Rovers memories. I've asked fans from around the globe to drop their Rovers memories, but of course I need more of them. That's right. 150 is a big number, and we need some more, and that's where you come in. That's right. Whether it's the best player, best goal, best shirt, best moment in regards to Blackburn Rovers, I want to hear about it. So if you want to do that, again, follow that link. There is also one down in the description, and drop it in there. Of course, that memory will be featured over on Twitter on a day of its own, and then of course together in a master video when we drop it on November the 5th to celebrate Blackburn Rovers 150th anniversary. So please do me a favour and drop your Rovers memory. But anyway, once again, back to Dirk to wrap up the show.
Appreciate that, guys. Of course, Blackburn Rovers 150 years old, and you can help us out with this massive social media campaign. So please have a little look down below. But until then, I'll see you soon whenever we got more news coming at you. But until then, we are done.